Hello, guys. This is a very emotional story and heartbreaking and really heart touching. And I think we need to change the way we do things. So this is the story. Let me get to the story as quick as possible. Let me not bore you with a lot of things, but get to the story as quick as possible. So this is the story. One day I get myself, walking down some streets in Nairobi, and I'm with my very good friend. Then we were waiting for someone, so we get to settle somewhere to wait for this person to come in. So while seated, noticed this young boy close to me and close to where we seated. And I asked him, hey, I get interested. He's like, hey, bro, hi, uko sawa? And says, I'm okay, bro. But you shivering, and is there anything wrong? Sema, no, baridi ndio mingi. No, it's very cold outside here, so you understand. Yeah. So my friend, who is so kind, offers to buy him coffee. In the process of buying coffee, I engage this guy and then start talking to him just to really want to know more about it, because he looks like a street kid, but he looks like a street kid because he was a street kid, but it's a bit cleaner than the street kids that I'm used to. So I asked him, hey, bro, what's your name? Then he tells me the name of which I won't disclose. Where do you come from? He says, where you come from. I won't disclose the place. And then, why are you here? And then he tells me, you know what, my father and my mother died. And my father died when I was young, and my mother died not like last year. That should be 1 year. Then I tried going to my mother's side to seek refuge, but no one really wanted me there. I went at my father's place to uncle's to seek refuge. No one wanted me there. So, yeah, I decided to take a matatu to board a matatu, take a lift from a matatu to come to Nairobi. I don't want to go deep into how he got himself to that car. Of course, he did not pay money. If you don't pay money, you know how that would go. So he finds himself in Nairobi, in the city of Nairobi. And the city of Nairobi, for those who live in it, they know, that's like, that's like a desert, man. Kwa Kiswahili wanaitanga shamba la mawe. It's, it's like a quarry, and things are not that easy in that city, Things are not easy in that city. So he gets himself in that city, and then he joins this group of the street kids. But for him, he's somehow better. Somehow better. I think that's a third case I'm trying to got in the city. And then life becomes so hard for him in the city. And then he decides, wow, I need to find a better thing to do, because, he told me he's a very hardworking guy, and life was becoming very hard for him. So he had to find some little jobs to do, little jobs to do just to get some little cash for his survival. And then on that, he follows his other street kids, and they lead him to a certain pastor, a certain church within the city. I don't want to mention the name of the church. And then this pastor welcomes him. He explains everything to this pastor, and then the pastor joins him with other street kids that he works with. And you know how he works with them? Okay, the work that he does with them is he gives them watermelons in buckets. Those boys and girls those boys who sell watermelons in white buckets, colorless buckets in Nairobi City. So he joins them with them and come to understand that that business is for that pastor. So he sends them out to go and sell those watermelons. And when they come back in the evening, he takes the money, then he gives them 200 shillings. And in the 200 shillings that he gives them back after all the sales, after they have submitted their sales, 100 shillings goes to pay where he has rented for them to stay. So it's a number of young boys who stay there. And then the 100 shillings remains with the boys. You can buy whatever you want, food that you want, and that is it. So I was surprised, pastor doing that. Okay, I never wanted to ask a lot of questions, because there are things that are happening, and sometimes you don't ask a million questions on that. So I get myself onto this, are you done with the primary school education? And says, no, I'm not done with the primary school education. It's like, oh, which class were you? Class 8. Oh, class 8. And ain't you supposed to be seated for your exams? It says, I was not able to sit for those exams because there was no one to talk to the school and no one to guide me through that so that I can get myself for that. It's like, wow. And did you tell the pastor the same? He says, yes, I told the pastor the same. I was in class 8 and I registered for my KCPE exams. KCPE exams, that's the Kenya National Examination for Primary School that is done to give you a qualification that will make you go to high school. So this little boy just missed that chance because this pastor decided to give him another business that is not his. In Kenya, the constitution does not allow any young person to be employed. So that pastor committed a crime, or is committing a crime, to employ these street kids who are young to work for him, and he gets the money from them. The best thing he would have done is to take them back to school or find a way to take them back to school. So that hit me so much in that I started asking myself questions like, a father doing such a thing, what will he do or how will he feel if he finds out that his children are misused the same way he's misusing other people's children? As much as they are not with their parents or with their families and all that, the best way is to find a better way to help them. If they need transport to go back home, you can give them transport to go back home. If there is someone you can connect to them, you try to talk to them and try to see, is there any relative who would like to take care of them, and try to connect them to the relative to take care of them. But for him, it says to give them a job to do. And the job is not really benefiting these kids, it's benefiting him because he gets the better chunk of the money and he gives them 200 shillings for survival. Is that really how we should do? Is that what Christ will do if he was physically here with us? Is that what God wants us to do? You know, there are things that are happening and sometimes you find yourself like, oh, wow. But all in all, I remember the story of which I'll ever share sometime back, sometime to come, not sometime back, sometime to come. And I felt so sorry, by the way. I felt so sorry. And I felt like that is not how things should work. I don't know what you feel about it, but personally, I hated that man. I hated that pastor, one or the other. So I think there's something that we need to do on this. And that's just one of the stories that I've ever gone through and I've ever seen and I've ever heard. There are more stories coming. What do you think is the best way to go? Just imagine that young guy can no longer join high school because he was not able to do his KCPE exams. That means the future is down. Will he ever get another chance to get himself in a better place? No one knows. It's only God who knows. Bye. Keep subscribing and following for such interesting stories and see how we can help in all this time.